Welcome to the first annual Earp-a Choice Awards. Today, we would like to give the award for Best Sci-Fi Fantasy Show of 2019. And the nominations are
Wynonna Earp, Best Sci-Fi Fantasy Show of 2019.
Pretty good show. I might actually have to watch it. That's good. All right, so I think we're ready. All right, and the winner is, drum roll please, Wynonna Earp!
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
I can't believe it!
I'm so surprised! What a surprise! It's just so great to have the whole cast here with this award. And well,
My. Wynonna Earp. Do you think it's fair to accept an award without me? We won!
Thank you guys for coming to the Earp-a Choice Awards. And we'll see you soon.
please don't FedEx it to us. I want to receive it at some point.
No problem. No problem. Okay. Go. Exit. We're going to exit and then Kevin's going to call you back.
Okay.
We're going to start the room.
How you doing? Good to see you.
All righty. Good morning, Earpers. How we doing? That's what I like to hear. How's that for an opening and having to follow that up, huh? All right, we've got, as you saw, a wonderful cast, and we're going to bring them out here so we can get this party started. Please welcome Emily Andress. Melanie Scrofano. Dominique Provo-Chockley. Kat Burrell. Tim Rozon. Anna Silk. Natalie Krill. Barun Saranga. And Justin Kelly. Alrighty. Have a seat, folks. Well, I want to start off, first off, by actually welcoming Anna to her first Winona Earp convention. Having fun so far?
It's been pretty darn awesome, I have to say.
All right. We hope the first of many. We hope the first of many. Absolutely.
Kevin Bachelder.
Yeah, I might be biased, but that's okay. I want to start off something, some of you folks may have heard this if you were at Dragon Con. I know a couple of the cast members were there, but this is just too powerful for me not to mention again. The following cities, what do they have in common? I think most of you already know. London, Toronto, Minneapolis, New Orleans, Paris, Milan, St. Louis, Anaheim, Glasgow, Bad Soden, which is near Frankfurt in Germany. This, up till now and next year, these are all cities that will host Earp cons. Think about that. Now, just a reminder, folks, too, feel free to take photos, but there is no video allowed during the panel. A reminder. I'm just curious to get some feedback from you folks when you think about that. 10 cities around the world. All independent conventions, not corporate. Just Earpers running conventions on their own.
It's crazy.
Wow.
There's so many of us. And we're Canadians, so we're like, would you? Oh, no, I could. Fucking A.
Fucking A. Yeah. Get in the game, Cleveland, Edmonton, Venice, Rio de Janeiro, let's go. Just kidding.
I mean, could you ever imagined, even in your wildest dreams, something like this?
No, not in a million years.
Remember? Okay. Remember the screen test in Los Angeles Fancy?
Yeah.
And you guys sat us down, and I don't even know that I have the job yet. And you're like, you guys, the whole team was like, all right, so there's gonna be something called Comic-Con. Do you think you'd be ready to do that? And I'm like, one convention. I was like, maybe. That's a yes. You always say yes in a screen test. Yes. It's gonna be cold. Are you? Yes.
Can you ride a horse?
Can you ride a horse? Backwards. And so Yeah, so no, to answer your question, I thought, oh, Comic-Con, ooh, I better get ready. And now, like you said, it's yeah, not prepared.
It's amazing. It's incredible. Thank you so much to everyone for like putting them on too. It just like makes my heart swell when I just see that it's so many fans putting on these conventions, and they're so amazing and so warm, and they just really reflect the Earp community. But you should be proud. It's just like people going and getting it, which is amazing. So.
And the great thing, I know many of you, if you listen to our Tales of Black Badge podcast that Bonnie and I do, early in season 1, or maybe towards the middle when we had Dom, when you were on the podcast and you talked about things that might, be kind of cool. Do you remember what you said?
I remember you reminding me what I said. Yeah.
What was it?
Yeah, apparently, I don't know the exact quote, but I think I said something like, wouldn't it be so cool if there were, what did I say?
Yeah, one of the things you wanted to do was travel. And you said, wouldn't it be cool if there were Earp conventions all around the world?
And then it came true.
It happened.
It's okay. It's fine. It's important.
Yeah.
Take it if you have to take it.
Yeah.
It's mad, and I think when I said that, I was just like kind of laughing about it, like, wouldn't that be so good? But like, the reality of it happening seemed very
Maybe
far
you
off.
willed it into existence.
Well, manifested.
Do some other stuff.
Yeah. Say more.
Yes. Yeah.
Pretty amazing. I know at New York Comic Con, Emily, you mentioned you folks had written up through, at that point, like episode 5 of season 4?
Now we're at episode 7. Yes. What's that? When hot. A blistering 2-parter mid-season. I hope everyone makes it, but Thanks for coming. Yeah. Thanks for flying in, Tim, but stuff's gonna happen. I'm excited. Yes, I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I know.
I'm excited.
I'm terrified, but also excited. Yeah.
Well, on that note, you tweeted a few days ago. You do it from time to time.
This already
yeah.
doesn't sound like me.
No. You said, quote, "Look, we both know you didn't come here to not feel things." Hashtag Winona Earp season 4.
Hashtag hoes better be prepared.
Can
Care to elaborate a little?
Sorry, can you repeat that one more time, the quote that she said? That's what I'm saying. I'm
She
just
said-
trying to see if there's anything.
She said, "Look, you didn't come here to not feel things."
Double negative. It wasn't. I said half angels better hold on to their butts. That's what I said. So, clench. Yep.
Lunch?
I don't know. Yeah. Clench. A lot of clenching. Yeah. I know you're waiting for me to say something
Yes,
about the
I am.
season, right? Well, what do you want to know?
Yeah, I was going to say, we're obviously very curious what's, going to kick things off. We left things in quite an amazing
I know,
place.
everybody's missing. So, cheap for cast, to be totally honest. Just hang out in your trailers, guys. It's cool. Some people in gardens. Some people are totally missing, having been drugged by you.
You're welcome. It was free.
Yeah, pretty much. So I bet some people aren't going to be super happy when they wake up and find out their girlfriend is gone because you drugged them. Jeremy and Robin, where the hell did you guys go? And who or what is Valdez?
Oh, yeah.
You're supposed to be a vampire. How did you get in the garden?
The last thing I remember was getting stabbed in the back by Kenzie, and then...
Yeah, it'd be a good time for a mystical being with a smart car named Kevin to show up and maybe give us some tips. Give us some tips. We never found Willa's body, so I'm just saying. Yeah.
Check below her mouth.
fuck that. I can rewrite season 4 now. That's fine.
It's officially an Earp panel now, definitely.
Yeah. Come on, it's almost 9:30. It's fine. It's good.
But
Point
speaking of where
Melanie.
things were left,
Point Melanie.
with where things were left, though, you haven't.
Good. Now maybe she'll loosen up.
I mean, now is the time. It's in not too far in the future. You're going to get a chance to see that first season 4 script.
Can't wait.
And I'd just like to put in another plug for the fandom for the idea that I might have been Dom or someone brought up about wouldn't it be cool to do a cold table read where you recorded that for us?
Definitely not Dom.
Yeah, whatever Dom wants. Like, whatever. Yeah.
Definitely not Dom, but I appreciate that you remember it as being me. I think I was instantly like, yeah, pretty sure that.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, but also it would be a really cool idea.
It's fun. It's so satisfying. It's so satisfying at the table read to see everyone's reaction. It's the first time the actors often see the script. And it's good because they're not that good actors, so they can't fake. They can't fake their reaction to the scripts. Just kidding, they're remarkable. So, I'm just kidding, this bit a little lower. No, it's really satisfying. It's
Maybe
good.
we got to do a live table read at some point.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Right here.
That'd be fun. It'd be crazy to see like the pilot and stuff again too. Like we could go back. We could read like the original pilot, which is insane. So that would be fun.
Carl? No.
Stupid Carl? Yeah, stupid Carl. Oh, stupid Carl. When is he getting a panel? Yeah.
But before you actually get that chance to see that script, it's now been like well over a year since the season ended. Anyone have had any thoughts or want to take any guesses where we might start season 4? Get it on the record right now.
Humping Dudley.
Hawaii? Hawaii, that's my vote.
Hawaii. Oh, yeah, oh my God.
Nice.
Dom, say it into existence. Just say Hawaii, Hawaii, Hawaii. You're good. Amazing.
No.
Don't all talk at once.
I feel like I know better than to guess at anything, because nothing
Yeah,
I come up
totally.
with will ever be anything close to what Emily and the writers come up with, and I love this. I don't even want to guess.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to wait for the moment.
Do you guys want to know? Not
Yeah.
here.
But yeah, I sort of want to know.
Some people want to know more. Yeah. And some people are like, you want to know everything. Oh, no. Everything. Okay.
This is, actually, I do.
You do? Okay. Oh my
This
God.
is the
Season
first
4
year.
Mel.
You know, I've changed.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Now, you talked a lot after we had the successful fight for Winona. Emil, about how that could impact the writing for the season in terms of seeing the characters and what they'd be doing?
Yeah, I think it was sort of one thing that was serendipitous about having a year off was I rewatched the show. I was like, this is pretty good. But also just remembering what you all love about the show, you know? I think what you all fought for is this group of incredible people, you know? I think that's what it comes down to. You know, and their relationships and just the heart and depth they give their characters and, you know, this dysfunctional family of dipshits kind of hanging out together is hopefully what you guys are here for. So it just reminded me that that's what I feel like all these characters will be fighting for, you know, is for each other, if that's okay with you guys. Yeah. But also, I've said this before, I just think it was very interesting, given the political landscape, not to go there, but that we did fight for something that's really important for us, right? We just weren't going to be silent and weren't going to say this wasn't important to us, and that for a lot of us, we're seeing ourselves in the media, on the show, in a way maybe we aren't seeing ourselves other places. So for me, it really reminded me just how important rebellion and resistance and all those things are, how important it is to fight. You know what I mean? So I've said it before, I really want to take those themes into season 4, just the idea that these guys are some sort of rebel force, you know, that they're fighting for what's important. And if I can get the posters, and someone made one for me yesterday that was amazing, just of these characters, I would love to have posters of just their faces with like, almost like recruitment posters that just say fight on the bottom, you know what I mean? Like I just really want those themes, because they're underdogs and that's why we love them. And so were we, but we won.
Now, Tim, you've been busy shooting Vagrant Queen, so you haven't had a chance to be at any of the Earp-cons since the fight happened. Do you want to maybe talk a little bit about your view on that?
I missed everybody very, very, very much. And I was quite jealous watching you all around the world, Earping. And I'm very, very happy to be back in this room with you all.
Anna, let's have a little chat about Kevin.
Okay. Let's talk about Kevin. We need to talk about Kevin.
I had to work that in. Maybe tell us a little bit about how you came to be on the show.
Well, I got a lovely call from Emily, and was asked if I wanted to play Kevin. I was like, yeah, sure, Kevin. Yep, makes sense. And then I was like, wait, Kevin? I don't get it, but I do get it now. And it was fun. I have to tell you, it was my first job back after having my second son, so I was terrified. Thanks. But stepping onto the set was just like, honestly, it felt like home. It felt like home to me. And Emily is the reason for that. And this lovely cast, of course, was very welcoming to me. And Kevin, to me, was just a total weirdo. I just like the idea that she's this really control freak, germaphobe with weird ideas. And so I got to kind of come in and eat pickles and have a lot of fun with these ladies. So that's really it. But it was really nice sort of jumping back in for me. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. No, thank you for saying yes.
Okay, sorry.
Tell the story.
Yeah.
No, I just remember when Anna came in, the first scene we did was the pickles, and I just was in such a giggly mood the entire time that I was just like, she must think we're so unprofessional. It was one of those days. I don't know why I found it so comical. I dropped the pickle.
Oh, I think I went like this, and you went boom, and then we were standing on some kind of soundboard, and it went boom, like, and we lost it. And we were like, welcome to the show.
I do remember you not liking pickles at all.
No,
and I really like them.
Right?
What?
Because the second son screwed me over because I ate, like the first thing I did, I ate a jar of pickles. I was so hungry and I wanted pickles.
Oh.
And then I was so sick and I never want another pickle.
I get it.
So I hated that scene.
I think they even asked. They were like, "Would you guys want to eat pickles?" And
like,
she was like,
"Stop."
"I'm out, Dom." And I was like, "Okay." Sorry.
Well, moving from some fun Earp Sister stuff to just the amazing emotions that the two of you, Mel and Dom, were able to bring for those scenes. Maybe you could talk a little bit about, I know, Dom, we've talked about how when you're doing one of those emotional scenes with Mel, you talk about how you have to be very much in the moment because that's your best way to work with it. Maybe you could talk about, do you two do anything special when you know you're going to have one of those really tear-jerkers to be able to do them?
There's always a lot more silence, I would say, on the lead up to it. Would you agree with that? We sort of keep ourselves
Yeah.
in a different headspace, naturally.
Yeah, there's music. For me, But I think we're good at reading each other and reading what we need. So it's like sometimes it's just like a touch or like a hug or like we're just both we're very similar in our approach. So we both sort of need the same things. Would you say?
Absolutely.
And so it's just more reading each other and just sort of going like, okay, read the room. What does she need? And I think we both do that for each other.
And then afterwards, there's a lot of hugging.
Yeah, there's a lot of hugging. Sometimes before too.
Yeah, sometimes before too.
Sometimes you just need a hug to be like, oh no. You know when somebody's nice to you and you're already there and then you're like, oh, I'm out.
Yeah, just to, ooh, careful.
Kat, maybe you could talk a little bit about what you see with Nicole now going in the next season as far as her in charge.
Yeah. Ooh, in charge. In charge it's a lot of responsibility. I think she's really going to struggle. I'm interested to see the work-life balance, and also just I think it's so much harder than she ever could have anticipated. There's probably still things Nedley maybe didn't fully disclose, just because I think he may be worried it would have just completely scared her off or been too much too soon. So I think there's going to be a lot of things that she's discovering about the job as she's going, and I think it's going to be a lot to try and just juggle all these things, and also because she knows so much. And I'm also really excited to see the dynamic between Winona and Nicole as the head of the supernatural department and the head of the sort of everybody else department. So I'm really interested to see the natural clash that's going to happen, and also how they're going to have to work together. And maybe they're not Dolls and Nedley. So what's that dynamic going to be like, and maybe what things are they going to come up with?
Maybe spitballing, maybe Nicole will have a better appreciation for what Winona does.
Maybe Winona will do things more by the book, so we can actually keep track of things and make some concrete progress in some areas.
No.
Yeah.
I'm out. Pickle. I didn't sign that contract. Yeah.
Now, Tim, Doc went to some very dark places last season. For you, I mean, you're one of the biggest Earpers, so we usually are used to Doc and all the fun things that goes on. I mean, how was that for you, having to really do some things that a lot of folks weren't going to be happy with?
What fun stuff were you talking about? Which part was fun?
You have a nice hat.
Yeah. Season 1 was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. You were kind of a bad guy in season 1.
The car bit was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your question?
Why do you do such bad things?
Yeah, well, no. How was it for you having to take Doc to those dark places when usually, especially you as a person, are such an upbeat, happy guy? Was that a challenge or something you enjoyed being very different?
Yeah, it was very difficult to do, Kevin. Yeah, season 3 was tough on me at different points, but it was also... Exactly. But I loved my jacket.
Nice, yeah.
And I had one of my favorite scenes ever.
Is that the highlight for you? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, yeah. But I had really, really good stuff with Mademoiselle Scrofano, so I feel very lucky for that. Getting buried alive was pretty awesome. And that was the coolest scene I think we've ever shot in 3 years. Mel and I were in the same studio but on different sets, and I was really buried alive and she was doing her thing on the other side, and we kind of had earpieces, and I could only hear Mel in my head all day long. And I felt lucky about it. She probably feels the opposite, but that was interesting. And then we had the scene on the porch where she didn't let Doc in the house, and I didn't get a hug after. But that was one of my favorite scenes I think I've ever filmed. And I don't know. I don't even think I was just thinking in that scene. I was just working with what is Scrofano.
Likewise.
So I'm hoping this year you meet some Care Bears and fuzzy little unicorns.
You want to sleep with a Care Bear? Wow. Wow. Space
Are
has
you
changed you.
surprised?
Space has changed you. Yeah. Noted. Noted.
I really want a horse.
Oh, I really want you to have a horse too.
Really? Think of the budget.
Can you ride a horse? You can ride a horse.
But that's why I said that, because of the budget.
Yeah. Do you want to ride a horse, or is it enough if you just look at a horse?
Well, we did that in season 1.
We did do that in season 1. Yeah.
Just a picture of a horse.
Just a picture of a horse, longingly. Yeah, good. Yeah, good. What?
Oh yeah, don't say money. Say budget.
Loads of money.
Loads of money. Lots of money. Loads of money. Loads of money. Okay. But it's funny in Alberta, like I've tried to get a horse before and everyone just like completely loses their shit. They just are like, what? You want the horse to walk? It needs 17 trainers, 72 like bales of hay. But then I was like, can we get a bear? And they're like, yeah, sure. Honestly, we had a bear and they were like, yeah, whatever. That bear, that bear, that bear, what bear do you want? But like a horse is like, ugh. So, yeah.
Now, we know how amazing the writing staff is.
They are amazing.
So,
Thank you.
well, it's true. So a question here for Mel and Natalie. If they find a way to bring Willa back, what do you think that first scene between the two of you is going to look like?
Yikes. Swift kick to the box.
I don't know. I think maybe like we'll share a bottle of whiskey. We'll just like, you know, get drunk together, and then everything will just be water under the bridge.
But also a swift kick to the box.
Yeah, that first, and then the whiskey.
Okay. Like a double kick. Like we both try to
Like you
kick.
both try to kick each other. Oh, that's fun. And then like it neutralizes. So like both of you guys. Okay, good.
And then it's like the Matrix.
Yeah.
And we're like,
Totally.
That would be fun.
The box?
All of it.
Yeah.
All of it. Yeah. It's good. I like that.
Get the whiteboard.
Yeah, I don't feel like Winona and Willa really figured it out before it went down. Their relationship, I mean.
yeah. I don't think Willa did either.
No.
No. I don't know. I've said this before to other fans. I think if Willa ever did come back, I think she would be very regretful. I really do. Yes.
Once she gets a stiff picture of us, she's gonna get that.
Now, Varun and Justin, you two have done an amazing job creating your relationship on the show so quickly. Maybe tell us a little bit. I mean, it's happened very naturally, but very quickly. I mean, have you two done something special to really make that chemistry work on screen?
Well, I mean, I remember when I got the job, maybe within a day I got an email from Varun saying like, welcome to the show, let's get dinner.
Maybe within minutes.
Maybe within minutes, yeah. Well, like, yeah. And I think the first night I got to Calgary, we went out for dinner and just kind of, shot the shit and got to know each other, and that was sort of it. And then, I like one scene kind of sticks out where, like the veggie sticks, that, and it was just so like hilariously written and quippy and it just sort of felt easy. Like we didn't really have to do a whole lot of.
It was, there's kind of automatic chemistry there. I don't know. But it's also like, I emailed you too because I understood like the legacy of the show and how important it was. It's like, oh, we gotta get this right. Like we gotta get along. We have to make this work, no matter what. But so it was just, it was important that we try and figure it out. But luckily, we just enjoy each other a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So it was,
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
This is like, it's sincerity. I don't know what else. It's really nice.
Yeah, I mean, we see it on screen, so it's nice to see the process of how you create it too. The care taken.
Were you like warned about the show, Justin? Like when you got the script that was like licks potato. broken Roomba? Were you like, what have I signed on for? Or?
I had like, I thought it was great, you know, like with the potato thing. I think, you know, some of us were talking about it last night. Like I had no idea what that was going to turn into when we were shooting it. I just remember, you know, Dom and I were shooting that scene and just like trying to keep a straight face, and we just thought it was, you know, like ridiculous in the best way possible.
Those are pretty good outtakes, actually. That would be worth yeah. And just like the sincerity of the AD being like, would you like us to switch the potato? Do you feel that one has been licked enough?
Yeah.
Can we get a potato match? Yeah.
We can run over to the grocery store, get you a few more potatoes.
Whatever
if
you want, whatever you want, yeah.
Yeah, it's safe to say I never looked at a potato the same way again.
But it was cool to watch it through your eyes. Like Tim was watching it through my eyes in season 2. And he was so excited for me to experience all of you. And then I got that sensation with Justin. I was just like, oh, you have no idea what's in store. This is so magical.
Yeah, it was true. I was sort of, you know, kind of warned about everything, you know, while we were shooting and how, you know, how great, you know, all these conventions are and all you guys and sort of thing. And yeah, you didn't disappoint, that's for sure. Seriously.
Where to hijack.
Now, there was, Emily, you've mentioned when oftentimes questions come up asking about favorite scenes and so forth. You've mentioned the one between Anna and Mel and Dom and Danny, with the four of them all interacting, talking about saving the world and everything, and how, you know, how powerful you felt that was.
Yeah, I just think I've said it before, like, I think I really like, it sounds so pat, but three-dimensional characters, but particularly with women, I think just like the gift of the show having so many different type of female characters is that not one of them has to represent all women, you know, which is great. So I really love that scene. I think, Dom, you liked that scene too, or you told me, with just the hilarity of like, Kevin and Winona and Waverly and Mercedes talking just about different things too, those conversations where like Mercedes is obsessed with the ring and Kevin's like, get your shit together. You two are like, woo, radioactive guy, we just beat his ass. Like, but again, it's just a testament to what these guys can do. And I feel like that too. I feel like the dudes don't always get the credit they deserve, and they're phenomenal as well on the show. Absolutely extraordinary. And I think like, so committed to the show as a feminist, you know, piece of television, and I appreciate that every single day, you guys, because I know that it matters so much to you, and just the faith that everyone will get their moment and everyone will get their fuck up, like real people. So I guess that's just what's important, is that people are flawed. So I like those types of characters. Yeah.
I know, Dom, when we spoke back in season 2, when you had the scene with you and Kat and Danny, the big fight scene in Nicole's house, and how nice that was to be just the three women doing it with the stunts and everything else. So, so let's.
That's a great scene.
So yeah, stepping into season 3 with this scene, Emily, it's just to me like showing just how much they're in control and how well it works. It's for all of us, I think, as viewers, it's very natural, but to the outside world, to see the women carrying that so strong, that means a lot.
Yeah, I really want some of you three really kicking some ass this year. I'm excited. Just back to like kicking in the door with a shotgun, Waverly, you know. Back to like Nicole with that swagger and that confidence, walking the ball, you know, and Winona just drunk and dropping her gun, but getting it done. Yeah, no, I'm excited. So
I feel like we need to go and do at the beginning of our season. I think we should go and do like obstacle courses or like some sort of fun. Emily's like,
I'm in. I'm like,
right? But like, I miss the gun training.
Oh yeah, the gun training we could do.
In season 1. So when I first got there, my first day, they were like, here you go. And I was like, what do I do with this? So it would be fun to do some sort of like, I don't know, maybe that's a bad idea.
No, I think it's a great idea.
But I think it would just be really fun to, because I sort of always feel like I have no idea what I'm doing.
Really? You look so good.
You look totally good at it. Yeah.
But it would be fun to, I don't know, have some of that experience.
Have you ever done a mud run?
No, but you did.
Guys, we have to do it. Like a snow mud run.
What's it called? A mung bun?
A what?
What's it called?
It's a mud run, and they do obstacles, and it's the funnest.
You're in the mud?
Okay, we're doing it.
I'll hold the purses. I'll hold the purses at the finish line. He's holding all the purses with the hot chocolates.
Great.
Yeah, good.
I'm gonna find a very safe,
No.
but still challenging group. Well, we can't get hurt right before
Oh,
we start
right.
shooting.
There's a pretty good shooting range in Calgary that Danny and I went to. They were pretty
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
Something. So I think it'll be fun.
Does anybody feel like thanks for the invite?
Oh, sorry. Some people were invited and then totally bailed, but I'll tell you about that later. Tim.
Okay.
It was fun. It was fun. But we shot the gun once and they were like, do you want to shoot it again? We were like, nope. And then we went and had pasta. It was a perfect day.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We thought about you.
Yeah.
We had some fans submit questions ahead of the panel. One of them was a fun one I wanted to ask you all. They wanted to know if Wynonna Earp was set in high school, kind of like Degrassi. What do you think your character would have been like back in high school?
Yes, miss. Please, miss. I got it all.
Yeah, you're the Hermione. It's me.
Yeah, for sure. I think Nicole would have had a little bit of a chip on her shoulder in high school. I actually think we might have gotten along like a little bit, like better in high school than they did
Yeah.
at first as
Okay.
adults.
Sure.
No, you don't.
No, I like this.
Do you know what
yes.
I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I feel like Nicole was going through a lot of shit at that point in her life, and like probably would have really gravitated towards an
Yeah,
energy
yeah.
like Wynona's.
And then when we grew up, we went like, "Woo."
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh.
That's nice. Yeah, something. I think I
heard that different.
Yeah.
Differently,
I see how you heard that.
That's a fan fiction.
I also heard that, but I chose to. Oh yes.
What would Doc have been like in high school?
Guys.
Well, I wish that he was like in the Zit Remedy playing bass. Thank you. You're the only
Yes,
person
I
who
got
knows who
it.
the Zit Remedy is. But he was probably one of those more dramatic storylines in Degrassi with the TV, and he smoked, and he was probably sick, and it was tragic.
STD.
Maybe 4 episode arc, and it didn't
Love
end good.
chlamydia for sure.
Plus,
Oh,
he had
yeah.
the weird little mustache as a teen. It was tough for Doc.
God, I don't know. I feel like Kevin would have been like class president, and she would have been the editor of the school newspaper and a mathlete.
Yeah.
And she would have held everyone to extremely high standards.
Yeah.
I think Willa probably ran away with the principal and they go and they build a nice tree house somewhere and they just live a happy life.
I think Jeremy would like be forced to be put ahead, like he'd be in like grade 9 and then they'd shuffle him right off to grade 12 and like he's along with these 12th graders and he has to do the sports with them and like it's just like it's not a good situation. It's just embarrassing.
I want to watch that series.
I feel like Robin would just be smoking weed with the fellow trombone players in band class. Just listening to jazz music, jazz fusion, skipping out on everything else, you know.
Now, we do have a couple of pre-selected audience members who have questions if they want to come up to the mic here.
Get it.
Remember, pre-selected, folks. Pre-selected.
Hi. So it's been said that you can put any two characters together and magic will happen.
Yes.
But my parents had to separate my sister and I usually in church because we cause trouble. So who can't be together in a scene because either church giggles would happen or they would break each other in a scene. So who do you think you can't really work with?
They're all good. You just have to account for shenanigans if you put like, two of them together.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Who's most likely to have those shenanigans?
No, you guys would know more than me. The Earp sisters, probably. Anyone with Michael Eklund is just like insanity because he's just like licking stuff and like trying stuff, and he'll try. I think, right? He'll always push you, right?
So much.
Right? Like the first time, Tim, you and Mikey were in a scene together, I was just like, oh my God, who's gonna crack first? It was just like taking off their pants, and then like the other person would take off their pants. Not quite, but it was like, I don't know. Is that fair?
Maybe a spoiler from season 4. Yeah, no, he licked my eyeball.
Yeah. Welcome to the show. Yeah. I don't know.
I feel like giggly with you.
Yeah, especially if it's like end of the day,
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like they should figure that out in the schedule.
Yeah.
I think when you put more than 2 of us together, things get
Nutty.
weird.
Like
I banged him on the head.
What happened?
Okay, do tell.
What happened?
I was in York and it was just a shit show, that scene.
Oh, the
Poor
scarecrow.
Patrick. I banged him on the head.
Yeah.
I fell on him.
Fell on top of him.
You had to be there.
Oh, come on.
Do we have the outtakes of that?
Sure, yeah. Is it the scarecrow, the Mazanyak?
Yeah, no, but
When he arrives at the door, why is
Patrick comes to the door.
Oh, when you knock out Perry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he tripped over it.
And you just see Paul, what was his name?
Patrick.
So sorry. But yeah, and it was his first day as well. It's always like their first day, and then he just like falls on top, and Tim falls like straight on top of him. You just see like this pile up. It was so.
And then we did not get it back after that.
At all. Yeah. Ugh. Sorry about that.
Mostly they're good.
Mostly. Thanks.
Try.
Oh, what's happening?
Quite the
here?
question of the hair.
Magnificent.
Hi guys! Coming live from the garden.
Wow, that's so good.
Everyone.
You better come talk to me later.
I will come see you, I promise.
Okay.
Everyone, can you list 3 things that your characters cannot live without?
Ooh.
3 things they can't live without?
Yes.
Yep.
It could be anything.
Waverly, Nicole, and...
I was gonna say, I know Nicole.
It's a race.
That's literally what I was going to say. Winona?
Like things, not people.
It can be
Or
things, people.
Anything.
It's okay if you don't feel the same way.
I'm not good with expressing my emotions.
I feel like that's not true.
Only through gifts. Only through text message gifts.
Decorative pillows.
Coconut oil.
I missed it.
It's multi-purpose.
Oh, yeah, I get that. Can you live with that pacemaker? You don't have it. I just said, can you live without peacemaker? Because you don't have it.
Jeremy is probably television.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
Your mug?
Huh?
Your mug?
Yeah, my mug.
Well, you
Calculator.
Good.
Thank God he has that calculator.
I feel like maybe hand sanitizer, a pen, and her tailor.
I say my hat, my Colt, and Winona Earp. What's on the other side of that door?
Yeah. Just fine. It's just
You're
fine.
fine.
Is it Hawaii? Hawaii. That's amazing.
I like my answer. I know you guys took it away from me, but I like it.
No, I love
No,
it.
I
What
like
was it?
it.
I love
It's
your
a
answer.
beautiful answer.
Those three.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good.
I didn't say I was a great parent.
Me neither.
Plus, apparently you can't.
Yeah, plus I'm doing it, so. Perfect.
All right, back.
This question was submitted by Annette. She asks, what is your ideal opening scene for season 4?
Oh, good question. What's your? Yeah, what's your opening scene for season 4?
Musical
Perfect
number.
scene. What did you say?
Big musical number.
Big musical number.
It's fucking cold in purgatory.
In the garden, in the garden.
Interior, garden, night. Waverly and Doc are fighting vines as they are lashing out at them. Yeah, I don't know. Continue.
I like it. I like it. Can the vines be sexy? Can the vines be sexy?
Doc and Waverly come busting through that door on a horse. She has a shotgun. Down the stairs, we also have Calamity Jane on the back of the horse.
Oh my
that we grabbed
God! I love it. I love it.
And Winona's really missed Doc. It's crazy.
And she's not mad at all. That's not mad.
Right, okay.
Is Waverly going to be angry at Doc?
I don't know. Why? Well, I don't know. Do you think she is? Why do you think she is?
Doc hasn't been.
He didn't have a great year.
Yeah. When we last saw each other, it was like. Whew.
Oh, yeah, well, he basically tried to eat you,
Yeah.
which is like.
So there's that.
But who hasn't?
Hey. I don't want us to be mad at Doc anymore.
I know.
That's not great television.
I know it's bad television, but I don't
Maybe
want to
it's
do it
someone
anymore.
else's turn to make a really big mistake.
Who do you think it is, Al?
Who do you think it is?
Her!
I sort of want to.
Oh.
I know it's unpopular, but how fun.
All right, you just get ready.
Oh, shit.
You all get ready.
Well, she's making notes over here, by the way, so yeah.
I just love, it's so good. God, I can't wait to read that first script. But I just feel like, like you said, Melanie, good television is a lot of conflict.
It is.
And there's a lot of complicated relationships. And we're so, it's so cool to be going into a season where all these relationships are so complicated
Yeah.
and so established. There's so much there.
Mm-hmm.
So many different directions.
Yeah,
that we're going.
So much history.
So much
yep,
history.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm happy we get to do it again.
One thing, we also had a fan-submitted question asking, obviously you folks have a blast at these conventions, as we all do, but they're very intense for all of us, attendees and the guests, obviously. When it comes time when you leave the con and maybe you go home, obviously aside from taking care of family or such, is there any one thing you kind of do to decompress?
I love that question.
I save all my letters till I get home. Like people sometimes, yeah, because I can't read them during the convention. It's too emotional. So sometimes I read them all at once and then have a big cry. Yeah. Or I burn them if they're mean. No, just kidding.
I do that on the plane.
Oh, on the plane? See, that's still too close for me. I'm like, ooh, yeah. I gotta watch like Jump Street, 21 Jump Street or something. Yeah, no. Yeah, I saved that all till the end.
I do a bit on the plane.
Yeah. I like to look at the hashtag and the photos of the stuff I wasn't there for. Like that's fun too, just to see like the fun you all were having last night. You're all here and stuff like that. Yeah.
It's been like, I would say, especially this year for me, because I've done so many conventions, it has been like a real learning curve. Because afterward, I think because, you know, I'm quite empathic and like live it fully, and I want it to be like that because I gain the most out of it, and it is a beautiful experience with every single person. But when I come back, sometimes I just need to be on my own, like completely on my own, and I've learned that through having situations where I haven't been on my own and realizing that I can't show up in the same way that I did before. So just, just allowing myself to have that downtime and do whatever feels right on that day, in the moment. You know, just trying to listen to my body, meditate, do all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's physically quite cruel.
I have a really cool family that tend, they can be quite emotional, the conventions, and so then it's just like diving back into they're like my little, they don't care what I do, they don't, you know what I mean, like they're just like, you're my mom, you're not special, but you're very special.
That's okay.
And it's just cool, like I just like diving into that little cocoon and just like, we'll do puzzles, or we'll do like, my son's really into mathematics right now.
Really? Oh my God.
Yeah, he's like, Mama, I want to do mathematics.
Oh
I know. He's not very good at it, but that's all right.
That's good.
But I know it's adorable.
Yeah.
So we'll do like mathematics, and then so it's just really just getting to spend time with my family is very helpful.
Well, I've been to my fair share of conventions. My first Earp-a-palooza. But I have to say, I mean, the amount of love that you guys show us is always incredibly moving and overwhelming. And I just try to remember to listen more than I talk and offer more than I take. So, because you guys give a lot. So we're very grateful for that. So I try to keep that in mind.
That's great.
I've only done 3. So. This is my 3rd.
It's crazy though. I mean, like, because I'm in the same boat. This is only my 2nd, but you know, you kind of it's like coming down from this incredible like adrenaline high. You know what I mean? Where you know it's so like you said, it's very overwhelming in the amount of love you give us, and in the best way possible. And so it is sort of just like, you know, taking that moment to really appreciate it and just be like, oh wow, this is crazy. And you know, especially for me personally, just because it is also new with this world. So it is like just like, wow, this is amazing. And then just kind of reflecting on it, I guess, and just taking that moment to really take everything in.
Yeah, I think that's a big one, self-reflection and just appreciation for all of it. Like, as an actor, you never get to see your audience. And this is like the most rewarding thing. It like makes me believe my job is worthwhile when I get to hang out with you guys. So it's wonderful.
Well, before we wrap up, a reminder, folks, the Winona Earp Spirit Day fundraiser campaign still has a couple of days left. You are all amazing in terms of supporting that. The folks there, but there's still time if you want to do something there before that closes up. But you're going to have a blast the next couple of days, but before we leave, let's give our cast a big round of applause.
Thank you, Kevin. Woo!
Thank you, coffee.
Do you guys get her costume?
Guys,
Do you understand her costume?
do you get it?